Only a few firearms are so iconic that they become forever linked to the blockbuster movies or TV shows they appeared in, and the stainless steel Ruger Mini 14 with its stunning birchwood factory folding stock is one of them. Hello and welcome to Hollywood Guns. I'm your host Wilson. Whether you're into action flicks, classic thrillers, or unforgettable TV shows, this is the place where movie magic meets real-world firearms. Imagine this, if you grew up in the mid-1980s, whether you're a kid like I was or a father of one, you likely spent many cherished evenings gathered around the TV with your family, watching the soldiers of fortune help those in need, taking on criminals, oppressors, and impossible odds. For me, there's one TV show from my childhood that stands out above all the rest. A huge influence that made me dream of immigrating to America, land of the free and home of the brave. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The story of the A-Team gun.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Let's go, guys!
Four men come out of nowhere and think they can defeat an army.
Well, we've done it before. Right, B.A.?
Right.
Okay, Hannibal, what do you want to do?
If we're gonna find out what's going on, we gotta hang back. Face, have you got a good cover fire position?
Yeah, I can see most of the street from here.
Good. Hold that spot. Everybody else close in and stay out of sight. Stay sharp. Safety's off. All right, they're armed. Now's the time. Billy, you and your sister get in the van. Now, unless you've got a burning desire to look like a piece of Swiss cheese, I suggest you stand very still.
What the hell is going on, and who are you?
We're the big bad wolves who come to blow your house down.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, everybody into the tent.
You didn't get a building permit from our executive offices, pal. We're gonna have to close you down.
Who in hell are you?
The A-Team!
I love it when a plan comes together.
History of the Mini 14 factory folder. First, let's do a quick safety check. Okay, the gun is clear. We can begin. I apologize for the small space. I don't have a lot of room to show you rifles in my collection. The Mini 14 was introduced in 1973 and was designed by legendary firearms designer L. James Sullivan in Prescott, my home state of Arizona. And apparently he also contributed to the development of the AR-15. Inspired by the military's M14 battle rifle chambered in the full-power .308 cartridge, the Mini 14 adopted a gas-operated piston system while being much lighter and more compact, making it highly appealing for civilian, law enforcement, and military markets in the intermediate cartridge 223 Remington and later 556 NATO. The difference is pressure and a little bit more power in the NATO round. Its rugged design, reliability and affordability set it apart from other rifles available at the time. And just so you can see, let me just bring in a closer look at these three cartridges. So what we have on the right here is a 9mm handgun round, and then this here is the full power 308 cartridge used in large battle rifles, whereas typically service members or regular infantry will carry a lighter rifle that has an intermediate cartridge. This one here is 556 NATO. This is a very widely used cartridge adopted by most NATO member countries around the world. The original Ranch rifle had a 18.5-inch barrel, the same as this, but it had a traditional rifle hunting stock. And Ruger also launched a target model, same sort of stock, but with a 22-inch barrel so that it could squeeze a little more horsepower and accuracy out of the cartridge. And then there is a tactical version as well that has a slightly shorter 16.5-inch barrel. Now the F models have this folding stock, making it more compact and portable. And there was also a select fire version called the AC556, which had 3-round bursts and fully automatic fire. And it even had a 13-inch barrel variant as well for close quarter combat.
Hi, I'm Hannibal Smith. I guess you're my prisoner.
What about the perimeter guard? Knock, knock.
Who's there? Us.
Us who?
Us who gonna knock you out, fool.
While it never became the official standard issue for any country-level military force, and generally speaking lost out to the M4/AR-15 platform, it found a niche in SWAT teams and specialized units where maneuverability and reliability were essential. Its combination of compactness and firepower made it a natural choice for police forces and paramilitary groups, excelling in both riot control and close quarter situations. In fact, we see that a lot in the A-Team. The team pretty much fire it when it's folded like this. So you see them kind of holding the gun and firing from the hip as if it was a machine gun. It's very visually appealing in the series.
You will freeze like Wiener Schnitzels, my little ice cubes.
As I write this video, I remember reading several years ago when I was researching my own gun that the folding stock variants were used by prison guards. I see from the Wikipedia pages that California, Nevada, and North Carolina Department of Corrections used the Mini 14, as well as Australian and Hong Kong prison agencies, but I can't find the sources to show which variant they used. So if you have knowledge on this particular point, please leave me a comment. I can also see that the Surrey Constabulary Firearm Support Team in England was armed with a folding stock Mini 14 in the 1980s. So obviously being British, this warms my heart too.
If you have guns, you will drop them.
Forget it, pal. We're going through.
No way, senor. You are 4. We are dead. ¡Agáchate! ¡Agáchense! ¡Vuelvan! ¡Vuelvan!
Why the gun was chosen for the TV show. By the time the A-Team began its full run in 1984, the show's producers had settled upon using consistent firearms for the team, rather than rotating different weapons each week, largely to keep the costs down. Starting in the second series, the Mini 14, with a stainless steel folding stock, became the signature rifle for the rest of the series. Unlike what many assume, these were not fully automatic AC556 models, but semi-automatic versions of the Mini 14. The illusion of automatic fire was achieved through creative editing and special effects. Careful viewers might notice the actors manually firing the rifles in quick succession, with only a few shell casings visible, despite the sound effects suggesting that full auto fire was being used. Bullet impacts and debris hits were often added post-production to simulate continuous fire, but look more closely and you're going to see the actors pulling the trigger continuously. Finally, the A-Team often filmed out of California, so transporting these semi-automatic rifles across state lines was simpler than acquiring fully automatic AC556s, as the semi-auto guns were classified as Title I firearms and didn't require special permits. The rifles featured on the show were purchased specifically for the series and remained in the prop department's inventory throughout its production.
What do you say, guys?
Prop used in the movie versus my example. It's hard to be sure, but from studying the scenes, it does look like they're using pretty much the same base model as mine, which you guys can see from this certificate from Ruger. It's called the K-Mini-14/5F. It's a bit of a mouthful. K stands for stainless, F for factory folder, and 5 is for the 5-round magazine, which has subsequently been lost to the mist of time. This is obviously a standard round magazine that is a little larger than that. Now, the main difference appears to be that in the A-Team, they use a flash hider on the front of the barrel. Some internet forums have said that the exact model the A-Team used was the GB/F model, and the GB stands for government barrel. I don't think it is this model because the barrel is missing a bayonet lug, which would normally sit around there. Also, in many of the scenes, the guns appear to be equipped with a larger than this one 40-round magazine. You know, that's an accessory that I've never found. Let me just round off by bringing in the original catalogs. Wouldn't be a Hollywood Guns video if I didn't have an original catalog from, in this particular case, 1986. Although you probably noted on my Ruger letter that mine was made in August 1987. Said it before, I'll say it again. I love these old documents. You know, just high quality marketing material from a bygone era. Pretty cool stuff. You know, here is the Mini 14 series. Here's another picture of it with the folding stock extended. If you want to read what they were saying in 1987, please feel free to pause the video right now. And the final thing I wanted to show you was the price list that I have. Back in 1986, a Mini 14 with stainless with its folding stock here would have set you back $375. I'll pop up on the screen what that is adjusted for inflation today, but I know that the MSRP on a new Mini 14, which I'll get to in a few minutes, is around $1,400. In each of my videos, I discussed the show and the characters' use of their firearms and weigh how lifelike or not their portrayal is.
It's gonna be fun.
The first category assesses whether the movie accurately depicted the amount of ammunition each gun could hold. This includes whether reloads were shown appropriately, or if the weapon appeared to fire an unrealistic or unlimited number of rounds without reloading. I must confess, I don't think I ever saw the A-Team drop an empty mag and reload the gun. Gosh, this is going to be an awful score. How can I say that? Well, you know, they are using 40-rounder mags in this scene, so that's something, right? I mean, perhaps they just fire short bursts. Maybe they were doing their reloads off the camera. Unfortunately, I think it only makes sense to give this an F for fail.
Make more sense to call you fool.
But fool doesn't have that nice ring to it.
The second category examines whether the impact of the shots fired matched the realistic effects of the firearm's caliber. For example, while a 12-gauge shotgun will knock a person backwards, a 9mm round is not going to send someone flying. Well, the Mini 14 of this era were chambered in .223 Remington, which, if you're not a gun guy, is an intermediate cartridge very similar to the 5.56 NATO. These are lightweight bullets weighing about half what a typical 9mm handgun shoots, but moving at around 3 times the speed. As a result, they are extremely powerful compared to a handgun caliber. In the 5 seasons and almost 100 gunfights, I do not recall ever seeing the A-Team hit a person with a Mini 14, so fortunately, I guess, we don't have to judge the impact of this round on a soft target. Hang on a minute. They do frequently use the Mini 14 to attack material targets like cars and jeeps, so let's just take a quick look at some of the effects.
This is what you must do. First of all, you must have a weapon. Second of all, you must check chamber of said weapon for possible mechanical blockage. Thirdly, you must aim said weapon at approximately a 45-degree angle at the rear of said truck. And then you must fire. That is the gas tank, you know.
Nice, Captain.
Here's an example of a 50 BMG round that the US military currently uses against material targets. Oh gosh, it's gonna have to be another grade F.
Shut up, move!
The final category evaluates whether it's reasonable to expect the character to make the shots they attempted, particularly at extended distances. This considers whether hitting the target was plausible or if it was highly improbable based on the character's skills and the firearms used. If I might be so bold, perhaps the reason they didn't make the shots they took is because they keep pointing their guns in the air. And then, when they're attacking material targets, they suddenly become super accurate and always seem to hit the engine blocks and the wheels, which invariably cause the car or the Jeep to launch itself into the air off a convenient placed ramp type object. I don't want to be objective. The action is so good and this is my childhood heroes. Grade F.
You kidding me, sucker?
Overall grade for a realistic portrayal of the Mini 14 in the 18. Damn it! Grade F. What do you guys think?
I think if you don't stop flapping your lips, I'ma highlight your head black and blue.
It's been fun. More importantly, it's been educational.
Other movies and scenes the Firearm was used in. While the A-Team popularized the Mini 14 folding variant, it also appeared in several other films and TV shows. My rough count is about 20 to 30 movies and TV shows since the 80s featuring a folding stock variant. Nearly all are fleeting glimpses though. Of course there is the one in Leon, because in the SWAT team scene there's pretty much every Cold War era rifle you can think of. There is also one in Charlie Sheen's Beyond the Law, although we never see it fired. Here are 3 of my favourite longer appearances. The first is Romancing the Stone. I love this movie and it's one of the best rom-com action examples that defined a genre. Jack Colton, played by Michael Douglas, acquires a folding Mini 14 gunman barrel version from the bad guy Zolo's men and uses it to fight his way to save the leading lady. At the last second when he's about to take the high pressure shot, click, out of bullets. Now he probably should have known this as the Mini has a last round bolt hold open, but perhaps not. I have a few mags myself, including the silver one, where this feature doesn't work. Death Wish 4. If you know this series, then you know. A Mini 14 folder was a signature firearm in this movie, and in one of the key scenes partook in the action that led up to and concluded with an excellent one-liner.
Who are you? I'm the guy that set you up. Why? I don't even know the girl. I do.
Finally, rounding out the trio is George Clooney in an excellent slow-building psychological thriller, The American, from 2010, where the Mini 14 folder was woven beautifully into the plot as the base rifle built bespoke by a gunsmith to be the perfect suppressed assassin's tool that could be taken down and hidden in a Samsonite briefcase. impact on pop culture, and why it's still an icon. I purchased my Mini 14 several years ago, and if you want an original from the factory gun that's shipped with the factory folding stock, and not a regular Mini 14 that has had an aftermarket folding stock added, you will need to do some research and be patient for one to appear in the market. They don't come up for sale very often, and when you get one, write to Ruger like I did to get a certificate. However, the good news is that Ruger themselves recently recognized how iconic this gun is, and in early 2024 re-released it. I've seen a couple on the racks at local gun stores, and I think they look really good. If you have one, please leave a comment and let us know what you think. I hear the new Mini 14s are pretty accurate too, whereas I have to say my older Mini 14 is not. It's probably a 3 to 5 MOA gun at 100 yards, and after a couple of mags, the barrel heats up and it gets worse. Perhaps that's why the 18 characters didn't hit anyone. The Ruger Mini 14, especially with its signature folding stock, became synonymous with the 18. It wasn't just a weapon in the show, it was part of the team's identity. The sight of the 18 charging into action, Mini 14 in hand, is seared into the minds of fans of the 1980s television series. This rifle's impact on pop culture lingers today, with collectors and firearms enthusiasts still seeking out these exact models, wanting to own a piece of television history. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to thank everyone who has been viewing my videos, subscribing, and taking the time to send me positive comments about my work, what I got wrong and what I can improve upon, and the guns and movies you would like to see me feature in future videos.
You son of a gun you got here.
Ha! What did you think?
I love it when a plan comes together.